Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. I know it's been a long time and you probably expected a full solve of the first round of Sudoku Grand Prix, but well, I didn't find the time it was really not easy for me, but I decided to do a few of them anyway. And we'll start with this Ascending Starters by Dutch author Richard Stolk. It was the highest pointer in the round, and it's a variant that has already appeared on Sudoku Grand Prix, and I think it was already Richard Stolk. And I really like this. So, how does it work? Whenever you have such a clue, you look at the digits, and while they are ascending, you sum those digits and you stop once they stop ascending. So, for example, this 24 could be, let's say, 1, 2, 4, that's 7, and 8 and 9. That would work. Those digits are ascending and they stop ascending after the 9, and their sum is 24. This 7 here could be 1, 2, 4, provided they are followed by a 3. They stop ascending at this point and the sum is 7. Or it could be a simple 7 here followed by a lower digit, let's say a 5, for example. So this is it, and that's really not that many clues given, and we can see that 24 appears on three occasions, which is most probably intentional. So how do you start on this? Well, there are two ways to approach them. One way is to look at the sums, the sum of the two sums, and I'll come to that later. But something more interesting, more promising for a start, is to note that 26 we use at least four digits, because three digits sum to at most 24, as you may be aware of if you're familiar with Kira Sudoku or Kakuro. So I will just note that with thermometers, and when I solved it on paper, I just used inequality signs, and I paid attention to just put them in the correct orientation. So 24 uses at least three digits, 16 uses at least two, it could use more. 24 could also use more. 15 needs at least two, 24 uses at least three, 24 is at least three, 26 at least four, 18 at least three. The maximum you can make with two digits is 8 plus 9, 17. 10 uses at least 2, 28 uses at least 4. And 5 could be just 1, 7 could be just 1. So that's the first part, just identifying those inequalities. Now let's come to this column, which is definitely the most promising at this point because it has two external clues, which sum to 14, which means that the sum to 14, I said 44, sorry about that. When you see all the ascending digits in one direction and the other direction, they sum to 44, and it's a well-known secret that all digits of the column sum to 45, which means that only the digit 1 will be out of those ascending streaks. So we know that 1 is nowhere on here, it's nowhere on here, but on those thermometers, 1 can't be here either. So on this column, 1 has to be here. And I say that 1 is the only outlier in the column, so we have just an ascending streak here and another ascending streak here, which brings me to updating this thermo. 28 with 4 cells is something that is pretty well known in Kakuro and Kira Sudoku. There are only two options, 4, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 8, 9. Those are the only options, and we see that they end with 8 and 9. This second digit is either 6 or 7. This one is either 4 or 5. On the other end of the column, this 16 must start with 2 and 3, and the remaining digits are the ones that have not been used here. So this must be from 4, 5, and this must be from 6 and 7. So that's a really nice start. And now we can see that this is very constrained, because here we have 2 and 3. Those two digits must be less than this one. A 4 here wouldn't work, because only one would be available to be lower than that. So that has to be a 5. So the option down there must be 4 and 7, and that's a 6. And we can see that's 16. I would just do some coloring to remind me that those clues have been used to their full extent, to their full potential. And this 5 now comes with 1 and 4, which is a total of 10. We need another 16. If I try to put 3 digits, then I get at least 21, which is too much. And 16 will need 2 digits, so the only way is to have 7 and 9. And we are certain that the ascending streak won't go further, so I would just redraw this thermo for the sake of exactness. Is that a word? Well, I will assume it is a word. So let's say that this 26 is now fulfilled. And now about those 24s, and this one too. 24 with 3 digits will be 7, 8, 9. And we know that they are not 7, 8, 9. And this one is not 7, 8, 9 because of this. So I will extend those thermometers, at least one more cell. This 24 could use 5 or 6 cells for all we know at this point. So what is possible here? Could this be 5 cells long? No, it couldn't, because let's see, this now is bigger than 7, so it has to be from 8, 9, and it's the same here, by the way. And another digit could only be the 9, so it's not available. So here we have 4 digits summing to 6, and we can see that the maximum scenario is with 5 here, 4 here, 5 here, and 9 there, and the maximum scenario makes a total of 24. So it has to be the correct scenario. This is really 24, which means that this is 8, and this doesn't extend any further. So we have, for several reasons, 9 here will make 24, and 9 is actually not available. So the thermometer stops here. We have 15, we need another 11, and 11 is achieved with the maximum scenario there again. So it has to be 5 and 6. And I will see that those two here are fulfilled. 24 here, we have 16, we need another 8 with 2 digits, that's not 1 and 7, obviously. Because of these two, it can't be 2 and 6, it has to be 3 and 5. So that's a really neat start. We can see that those clues have been really placed in a very efficient way. And now we must move on to this part. And I remember from the round that this column was quite tricky. And I remember that those 9s were really the key. We have to find where 9 goes on this column. And something of interest is this here. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. And this here is an intermediate cell on the thermo, so it won't be a 9 either. So this is from 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, and this is from 1, 2, 3. So those are rather low digits, which make a sum of at most 7. So we need at least 11 more, and 11 more will need at least 2 digits. So we can extend this thermo at least to this cell. And then I said 9 is very restricted on this column. So 9 can't be anywhere in here, and it can't be here. So 9 will have to be on one of those cells. And 9 here would be very constraining, because 9 here would mean that this thermo extends this to this cell. Knowing that this is ascending with a 9, it would be even more ascending. And now those 4 digits will have to sum to 9. And if you're familiar with Kira Sudoku, there again, you know that 4 digits add to at least 10. So this 9 here will never work. This is really, really well thought, really well conceived. So 9 has to be here. That's a 6. And this 15 here is done. So what is happening next? I'm saying that this 6 here goes there by the rules of Sudoku. So this is a 2, 3, 8 pair. And this must give the 7 here. Actually, 7 can't use those 2 digits because that would have to extend, and 7 will never work. So that's a 7. And here we must use 1, 4, and 5, and that's not a 5. So this 7 is now done. And this column still has 2 clues, which add to 33, so the outliers must sum to 12. This is an outlier, so the outliers could be those 2 digits or those 3. And 2 digits would be very restricted. 2 here would need this to be 10, that doesn't work. 3 here would need this to be 9, that doesn't work. And 8 here would need this to be 4, that doesn't work. So those are the 3 outliers summing to 12. And so 8 could be in there, and it would be very restricted. It would have to be 1, 3, 8. Or 8 could be at the end of this thermo. But 8 here with this thermo would put a 9 there. That wouldn't work. So 8 is not on here. And 8 is not on here because then the thermo would extend. So we know that 8 must be up there. We need 3 digits. There must be 1, 3, and 8. So that this is a 3. That is 8, and that is 1. So knowing that, this 18 can only be 2, 4, 5, and 7 in ascending order. And this is 8 because of this thermo. And this 18 is now fulfilled. This is really, really remarkable setting. But you know that I always say this about puzzles by Richard Stolk. It's not a mystery. He's considered one of the greatest setters. So now we have 15. We need another 9. It won't be 1 and 8. It won't be 2 and 7. It won't be 3 and 6. It has to be 4 and 5. So 5 goes there. This 24 is now done. This 10 now. It won't use 3 digits. It would have to be 2, 3, 5 or 1, 4, 5. That's not possible. So that's only 2 digits. There must be 1 and 9 or 3 and 7. Oops, what did I do? 3 and 7. And at this point, both of them look possible. And the interesting part is that 1 and 9 will have to be here and there. Oh, and that doesn't work. because then those would have to be 2 and 3. Actually, this 2 says that there is a 2 in here. So those are from 1, 3, and 9. So we know that there is a 1, 3, 9 triple in here, so that must be the 7. This is now a 3. That's a 2, that's a 3. And this is a 2, 9 pair, but there's a 9 in this column, so that's a 2, that's a 9. No, that doesn't work. No, what am I saying? That's a 2, 3 pair. All right. And now this 5, it can't be 1 and 4, it can't be 2 and 3, so it has to be an isolated 5. And I think that at this point I've used all the clues, and the rest should be just classic Sudoku. Well, there's a 1 up there, so that's a 9, and that's the 1. Here I need 6 and 8. Those are not resolved at this point. This column needs 6, 8, and 9, so this can only be 8. Then that's the 9, that's 6, that's 8. This needs 2 and 6, so that's the 2, that's the 6. Here I need 3 and 7. This is not resolved yet. 9 and 7 here, so they are not here. 9 and 7 are there. This is 6 and 8. There's a 6 in this column. Here, where is the most efficient place to look? So here I need 2, 3, 7, and 8. Oh, 7 and 8 here. So that's 7 and 8. And this is 9 and 7. What did I do? Oh, sorry about that. 7 and 8 are not here. They are here. It's no wonder I make so many mistakes during the contests. This is 1 and 6. This is 2, 4, 5. 5 can only be here. On this column, I still need 1, 2, and 3. Here, I still need 2, 3, and 9. So that's the 3. 2, 3, 9. That's 2. That's the 1. Here I need 7 and 8. No, sorry. What did I do again? Oh, that's an 8. Sorry about that. So here I need 7. All right, so I made mistakes again. So here I place the 3, thinking that this was a 9. So that's an 8 actually. So the 9 is not determined yet. All right, that's better. So on this column, we still need 1, 2, 4, 6. So this can only be a 1. This is from 2 and 4. It can only be a 4. Here, this 7 goes there. So that's 3 and 7. That's 2 and 3. Here I need a 6. It's here, and a 9. Up there, 8 must be here. That's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 4. Here I need 1 and 2, so that's the 2, that's the 1, 3 and 2, 3 and 9. So it was a kind of roller coaster for the classic part, which is most probably the reason I make so many mistakes during contests. But then this is a way to solve, and I'm not sure there are many other ways of solving this for the part that's using the constraint. So that's a really, really great puzzle. 93 points were probably well deserved. So thanks for watching this video, and see you soon, I hope, on SudoKanard.